everybody else is. It's supposed to be a Dave night. Hello
They'll be
everyone.
here when
Welcome
they.
to the pre-show. Um,
They'll be here when you be here. We got a
yeah, I
lot of
think
comic books to get through today too.
oh man, it's a pretty good week. It's nothing like next week, which I think is dog shit. Wait, 27, 28, 29, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, next week is the big week.
Next week has
Transformers,
got.
gods. Next week is a huge week.
Mhm.
Probably the biggest week in comics is next week, to coincide, of course, with New York Comic Con, which we've been bitching about on the Sunday night show because we don't get enough news. But yeah, man.
Yeah, next week's got all the. It's got. There's a lot next week. I'm looking at it right now.
I mean, this week ain't terrible. It ain't terrible. There's
Got
actually news.
Transformers next week
I'm so
from
excited.
Skybound.
So excited. I'm so very excited. It's Monday. I mean, spoiler alert, I get review copy for that stuff. Most times with big books like this, they send them out a little bit earlier. Most of the times they just send them, if they're just regular book, they send them out the week of. I'm going to presume that they're not even going to send a review copy of this. They don't need the help. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
don't need
this book has already sold
them
itself.
in.
It's Transformers number one
Yeah.
from Skybound. So
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Jeff, what's up? Monday Night
Hey, Jeff,
Comics, you
what's
know
up,
it,
man?
brother. That's what we're going to do tonight. We're just going to talk about all the new comics coming
forget
out.
about Monday Night Football. This is the real.
The
show
Eagles,
here.
my Eagles are playing tonight. I am an Eagles fan, even though I'm not really a football fan. When I do root for them, I was born in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and I have vivid memories of my grandfather getting mad at the TV. So it's just kind of like a nostalgia, thing like that, memory thing for me. But yeah, man. I guess we're just gonna start. I don't know where everybody else is. Dave's usually here by now. Let me open up Facebook to see if he messaged us or something. Probably the message, my power is out or something.
Well, we just
Ain't got
did
no
have some
power.
recently sad news here in the entertainment side of the world.
Oh, he said he will be a minute.
The guy who played Ducky
Yes, go
and
ahead.
the man from Uncle died. Ducky from
I
NCIS
don't.
and the man from Uncle, also played the man from
Yeah, I
Uncle.
don't know
died.
that.
Yeah,
I don't think I know who that is. I mean, it sucks when anybody dies. I don't think I know who that is though. Dave will be here. He's just going to be a minute. And as normal, Taylor is a wizard. He'll be here.
So David
on time.
David McConnum.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 90
that
years
sucks,
old.
though. It sucks. Martin Scorsese opened his mouth again. That was crazy. Every time he's got a new movie coming out, he's got a shit on fucking comic book movies. Every time he's got a new movie coming out. I mean, I get it. He hates comic book movies. I get it.
You don't have to be a fan. I mean, if you're not a fan, just say you're not a fan.
Well, here's the thing. He says Christopher Nolan is leading the way for directors to make cool, movies again. And I'm like, motherfucker, Christopher Nolan directed 3 of the coolest superhero movies ever made. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you not like superhero comic book movies, or do you just think that they need to be elevated? Because that would be the better discussion. You know what I mean? If Martin Scorsese would come out and say, you know what? I like the Nolan Batman movies. I like this movie. I think this movie was here. And then he would say something intelligent. You know
Martin
what I'm saying?
Scorsese
Right now, it
has
just sounds like he's an
pretty
old
much
man
made
shaking his fist at a
whole
cloud.
Film career out of one genre.
I mean, he did, but and his most popular stuff
mafia.
is definitely the mob shit, and there's a lot you could say there.
And the mob movies are kind of done to death.
Not only done to death, looking back, they are really out of touch and kind of racist in their own prejudice. And I don't know.
He falls on what just like a handful of actors. He's kind of like James Gunn and Michael Rooker. He always goes with De Niro or Al Pacino.
I'm okay with him having.
Well, that's an extensive list. I mean, Christopher Nolan, Tim Burton. They all have their pet actors,
Yeah. At least it's not like Tim Burton hiring his old lady every damn time,
And Johnny Depp.
Rob Zombie always hires his old lady. Hard to blame him though. If I had a cool gig and could hire my family, I'd be like, oh yeah, James Gunn hires his family.
Oh, by the way, have you seen my hot wife? She's an actress. Here you go. She's starting in my next film.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Scorsese, every time he's got a new movie coming out, he opens his mouth and talks shit on comic book movies. And I just found it really ironic.
I don't fucking care. Whatever.
Well, he mentions Christopher Nolan by name. And I'm like, Christopher Nolan directed 3 of the coolest superhero movies of all time. So if you wanted to, Marty, you could come out and say, that you think these kind of movies need to be elevated a little bit than what they are. And I think there's a wide swath of the freaking fandom who would agree with you. Morbius, come on, dude. Come on.
Not every single comic book movie can be the Dark Knight trilogy. Not
every Western is good. Not every sci-fi movie is good. Just it's a genre.
Yeah.
Some of them are going to be better than others, and it's just it just seems it very much does seem like just an old crank thing to say, you know.
Yeah, just I understand he wants to elevate things, but you can't
bring
things up by bringing it down, you know. Yeah, let's do the show. Let's do the fucking show. Let's do this damn thing.
Martin Scorsese with an AI.
Sheer fucking hubris.
Jeff was in the chat while we were talking about Marty. So transformed this next week with gods. It's probably going to be the biggest.
I mean, there's a movie coming out this week that looks freaking awesome, and it's not a comic book.
Welcome back. This is another episode of This Week in Comics Outright Geekers Comic Book Shit Talk Show.
Shit Talk Show!
Homer, Taylor, Andy, and a.k.a. David. Full house. Yeah, there is a movie coming out this week called Creator. It looks dope. It's like a sci-fi with an android and like a war between. It's like Matrix meets AI. It looks so rad, dude.
Yeah,
it's
by the director, like the first legendary Godzilla movie, I believe.
Yeah.
I'll have to double check that, but I think that's.
Let's jump into it, gentlemen. All right, we're talking about new books. Okay, like we said, like Jeff brought up in the chat, next week is gigantic. Okay, again, probably the biggest week for comics. There's also Batman, which comes out next chapter of Gotham War. So I mean, there's big hitters all over.
5th week of the month, so it's not the pickings is slim for this week.
Yeah, this week not so much. So. One thing worth saying, if you see something, say something, chat. If you want us to talk about a book, we'll definitely talk about a book. These are books coming out this Wednesday, some Tuesday, some at midnight tonight, September 27th. But I think the big news here is Boom Studios at the top of the list over at the PreviewsWorld.com website, which is what we use to talk about these books.
But for how much longer?
I don't know how much longer. Image.
All depends on Diamond.
Yeah. Image has been completely removed as its own section. Diamond's pretty much been whittling that down for months. And it sucks. We just talked about it. Probably the book that is going to be one of the biggest sellers of the year, Transformers #1. And it's just down in the minutia, along with, I don't want to talk shit on anybody, along with everything else. Okay. That's not part of Diamond's little exclusive circle. Even though Marvel and DC are both not part of that circle. Come on, Diamond. Shit.
Come on. Be brave, Diamond. Put Marvel and DC in with the rest of the books.
Yeah. No, don't do that. I want the opposite of that.
Be brave.
That's a dumb idea. David, that would suck. We'd have to be sifting through every fucking thing.
I know. We would have to do
this. Through this. We'd
have to do it.
I don't want to.
I know you do, but yeah. And of course, they don't want to do that. They don't want to alienate the 2 biggest comic book publishers on the planet. So why alienate the 3rd biggest comic book publisher on the planet? It just seems dumb. Anyway, Boom Studios, not much. Alice Never After. This is the sequel to Alice Ever After, which is a Alice in Wonderland sort of take. I think Andy's reading that. Are you still reading that, Andy? The Alice stuff?
I did not pick up the last issue. I only read the first one, and I thought it was okay.
Yeah. Creed Next Round, #4 wraps that up. Actually, it's been quite surprisingly good.
This is
I haven't even seen the Creed movies, and I love this. It's great. Expands to Dragon Tooth. Hits issue #5. That's a 12-issue series following the Amazon show. We get Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Stuff of Nightmares, Red Murder #1. We do get
this is
a Francavilla book. Yeah, this is definitely one we're talking about. R.L. Stein, Adam Gorham doing the art.
I'm excited for this. It's
I was about to say, what the hell?
It's R.L. Stein. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, he knows how to write horror. Yeah. Nice.
And it's timing appropriate, I think.
It is the spooky season, man.
Spooky season.
You can't go wrong with the Francavilla cover. So
no, you can't.
And they have a lot of them for that. Gorham gets a cover. There's an homage cover here. What's that homaging?
Let me look.
Yeah, it's Miguel Mercado.
I guess that's Wayne's
maybe
World.
One of is it Wayne's World?
Well, it
does kind of look like Wayne.
It does very much look like Wayne. Cover. That's where my mind went.
It looks like a Goosebumps cover. I just can't remember which one it is. So.
Yeah, maybe it's a Goosebumps cover. Cool. Dave will get on that, and we'll know. A glow-in-the-dark Francavilla cover.
I don't think it's a Wayne's World cover.
Well, that looked like Wayne. I don't think
it does.
No, I never seen a poster where an axe murderer was about to butcher Wayne, but that looks a lot like Wayne, and it looks so much like Wayne that I can't think that they didn't do that on purpose.
Unless it is supposed to be an actual Mike Myers reference to that movie, So I Married an Axe Murderer.
I adore that movie. He playing his dad in there is that was great. Awesome. It's awesome. All right, moving on. It's a very slim pickings, but they do have a fun horror comic over there. Boom. Moving on to DC, Action 1057. Is anyone still following Action? I usually have a rule where I only follow one, maybe two books from any particular family,
Yeah.
I'm following Superman and Steel.
I'm in the same boat there. I was missing out on Action Comics. I should have been reading it this whole time, but so yeah, I never jumped onto this at all, I'm afraid.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. I mean, 1050 was the big deal, and then I did read it for a few, and then they just kept pushing more and more and more. So, whatever. Batman Beyond, Neo-Gothic. Great that Marvel continues to DC continues to give us, books that we like. It's weird that Batman Beyond is such a hit, but Spider-Man 2099, can't seem to do shit.
I mean,
they're basically the same thing.
Batman Beyond had a very popular animated show that made him a lot more present in people's minds than Spider-Man 2099 ever was.
Yeah, that's
Although after Across the Spider-Verse, I feel like that probably bumped his profile a bit.
I believe
I think Batman Beyond came after Spider-Man 2099.
Oh, it did. Yeah, Batman Beyond came out in the early 2000s, and 2099 was mid 90s. So. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that. One of them had his own TV show that was really popular, and the other one had a guest spot on Spider-Man, the animated series, maybe once.
Yeah,
if at all,
But like you said, he gets a lot more screen time now, so we'll see what happens. Maybe that'll happen. All right, I'm kind of interested in this because it says Gwar. Okay, I love that. It's Gotham War. Okay, it's not
War.
It's not the weird band.
Get in my car.
They're awesome.
Hey, they're from Minnesota. Don't make fun of them.
I've been loving.
I'm not making fun of them. They have.
No, I love Gwar.
I love their covers. I love when they do.
David,
covers.
what is it you hate the most about Gwar?
I don't hate Gwar.
You heard it here first, folks. David hates Gwar, and he doesn't even have a reason why.
Rosenberg writing this. Writing the Red Hood in the context of the Gotham War. I think Red Hood has Jason is the best place in this. You know what I mean? Because he's 100% on Catwoman's side. She's trying to take care of him. Bruce is trying to take care of him. I think he's almost the heart and soul of this event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he could be viewed as the proxy for the moral quandary that is at the heart of this, right? Is Catwoman doing the right thing by trying to take all the criminals and make them do just quote unquote harmless crimes, or relatively so, or is Batman right to want to not tolerate a quote unquote lesser evil?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, that's basically been his thing since he came back. He was a harder, edgier Batman who didn't have that moral quandary at all, or that moral line, at all. So yeah, definitely on my radar there. That is a 2-issue miniseries. Brave and the Bold, number 5. Detective 1074. That looks okay. I haven't been reading that. Again, I have this problem with reading too many books from the same sort of family. And I mean, this Gotham War event's got me reading way more than I want to. But probably the biggest book of the week from DC, Flash number 1. I know Taylor has been anxiously reading this.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that got just derailed by Night Terrors, and I'm glad to see it finally coming back again.
Yeah,
you know?
Back.
Yeah, it's Cy Spurrier, as I think everyone knows here. Cy Spurrier is either bullseye hit or hitting the bathroom door miss for me. But Deodato Jr., what up, dude? Now, David, if you'll recall, Deodato Jr. was exclusive to AW. Was it AWA? That must have gone away. That exclusivity.
I don't know if he was exclusive.
No, they made a big deal. We talked about that being like a big deal, him being exclusive to AWA. But that was some time ago, so it seems like even if he was, or was not, either way. I know he hasn't done much work outside AWA.
No, he hasn't. I don't recall. Actually, I don't recall what the last book he was on AWA was. I think it was like.
No, he did one very recently, with JMS, I think.
I think that was
anyway.
He was on that book. I don't think that book had him. That latest series had him on it.
Yeah, well,
but this is a character I like to follow, and I am a little weary of Cy Spurrier, because Cy Spurrier has done a lot of things I really like, but he's never done anything I like despised. But like more than once, I've read one of his Nightcrawler books that he was doing over there in the Krakoan stuff, and it always loses me after a few issues because it just kind of goes up its own ass,
Yeah, he had that. Man, what's that character? Professor X's son, who's got all Legion. The powers. Legion. When he was doing Legion, dude, that started off amazing, and then, like you said, it got way up its own ass, dude. And I just hope he doesn't do that in this book. That is a dope cover. I love how they're.
That's pretty rad.
Small.
Yeah,
that is so
cover. Yeah,
great use of. I don't know. It just works so well.
But yeah, on the face of it, Wally's not the type of character where there's like philosophical quandaries, but Wally is a character who like outraces the concept of death and moves at trans time velocity and things like that. So there is up on ass potential with the Flash. So I am a little worried. And
it even says here in the solicit that Wally experiments with creative new approaches to his powers. Never a good idea, Flash. Stop experimenting with your powers.
Yeah, the Flash goes to the Flash has gone to some weird fucking places. Like
that dude. Yeah, and times and dude. Come on.
Even talk about Superman being a bullshit character. That has got nothing on the Flash at like his.
The Flash at his most powerful is the most BS of BS characters.
He's all the hacks,
Yeah. So this is really pleasant return. Green Arrow #4. I've been enjoying the shit out of this miniseries. Taylor said it just a little while ago that Night Terrors just derailed a whole bunch of damn books. This was one of them. I'm happy to see it back. You know what I mean? Parallax is back.
Yeah.
It's kind of lame, but
that's whatever. But
yeah, it's Parallax returning in a Green Arrow book,
which is weird.
It is weird. It is weird.
That being said, I've been enjoying this. I've been enjoying seeing all like the Green Arrow family. Like they've been doing a good job with like using Hawk and using Black Canary and using Arsenal, and it's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to getting back to it.
Well,
although I have no idea why they're going with like Green Lantern villain here, but hey, whatever.
Well, Hal and Ollie are friends.
I mean, yeah, they had one of the best team up books of all time. To this day.
I mean, they might be drawn into that a little bit, but
Yeah, I hope so, dude. I didn't mind the Parallax stuff like when they first did it, but they went back to that well so many damn times, just way too much. But Harley Quinn #32 continues that series. Penguin #2. The first issue of this was okay. It was a little bit drawn out. I don't like this version of the Penguin. I know what's going to happen by the end of it. He's just going to be back to his old shitty ways.
Yeah.
And
I didn't hate that first issue, but
me neither. Yeah.
I was confused. Like everyone was treating the Penguin like he's this massive physical threat, and he absolutely is not. That makes no sense.
That's always been like his thing.
He's a mob boss.
He's been an asshole and like a little bitch. Yeah.
And I know that like you don't want to like piss him off or whatever, but everyone's all like, "Oh man, the Penguin can just kill him right now." No, he can't. What the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm still gonna pick that up. Cool Derek Robertson cover here with the Penguin.
Oh, they got like that Danny DeVito energy going.
Yeah, there. Right. Moving on. Power Girl #1. I like the Power Girl special. I like the other book that came out, the debut from a week or two ago, Fire and Ice.
Yeah, I enjoyed Fire and Ice. That was fun.
Out of that. Yeah, so I'm anxious to take a look at this. Again, Joshua fucking Williams.
Where Leroy does he find the time?
Yeah, Leroy at the Comic Bullies is convinced he's AI that DC is using now.
Man, I could believe it. The output on the Joshua Williams name is astounding. It does bigger the imagination.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to read this. I'm not expecting a lot, but again, man, this is Superman family shit. I'm reading so many Superman books right now.
Do you count Fire and Ice as a Superman family book?
Because they're in Smallville. They're hanging out with Mama Kent.
I mean, there's enough Superman adjacent things that I guess that would count.
Yeah, I'm counting it. Man, tell your cat, man, I want Power Girl.
Dave, quit hurting your cat.
I'm not hurting my cat.
Dave, you don't have to lie to us. We can hear you hurting your cat. Hate Squaw, is mean to his cat. Just freaking Dave.
Spirit World number 5 of 6.
This has been my favorite of these these titles that they've been putting out. So I'm definitely looking forward to picking this up.
Yeah, I'm a bigger fan of City Boy. I think I might have dropped this. I probably need to go back and try to catch up and read all of these to get the full scope. But
at least we can both agree that the Vigil kind of lost us.
Yeah, the Vigil lost me. And that's Ram fucking V, dude. You know.
Oh yeah, Ram V's a great writer, but
Jeff asking if he's not asking, he's just curious if any of the Penguin comic is going to be used in the HBO Max series. Man, I'm sure it is. I can't tell you which ones. I don't think it's going to be this one. You know, nobody involved in that show is writing this comic, as far as I know. But it's a damn good question. Damn good question. It's hard for me to get into the DC stuff that was playing before James Gunn took.
I was trying to think if there was any direct comic adaptations going on in the Batman, and I can't really think of any right off.
Yeah,
so it seems like they're not
like a mishmash.
It seems like they're not really mining the material too much for that.
If anything, it's surface mining, street mining. You know, Static Shadows of Dakota number 6 wraps that series. Always a fun time in the Dakotaverse. Superman Last Days of Lex Luthor. I did not read this first issue. Again, I just got so much going on. This is a Black Label book.
Such a slog to get through.
Oh, really?
It was. It was okay. It was decent, but it's just this. It's Superman and Lex. You can't get it wrong, but somehow they just kind of went what the heck, man? Why are you off on this tangent of?
That's how Black Label feels like, man. It almost feels like a waste in a lot of cases. I don't know. Some of the stuff has been great, but more than half, I would say almost all of it has just been I don't need this. You know what I mean?
It was just kind of oh no, Lex is dying. Can we save him? Or should we save him? You know, it's but it wasn't more
Tales of the Titan.
We're having this moral quandary.
Yeah.
My greatest enemy. He's
The
on
moral
death floor.
Tales of the Titans number 3, all about Donna Troy in this kind of throwback book. Great cover there by Rose Besh. Love it. Unstoppable Doom Patrol hits issue 6 of 7, and Wildcats number 11 drops. That's it from DC. 2 big debuts from them. You got your Power Girl, and you got your Flash. Also, the return of Green Arrow. Not a terrible week. Not a terrible week over at
not at all.
Yeah. Let's move on to Marvel Comics. Avengers number 5. This series has been middle of the road for me. It's been kind of slow. I'm still enjoying everything that's going on. I just wish it was going on a little bit faster than what it's been going. Jed McKay is also kind of one of those writers for me. You know what I mean? He hits or misses, and this is not a complete miss. I'm still enjoying what's going on. Again, I just want it to go a little bit quicker. You know, it feels, I don't know. It feels like
I really don't agree with that, because they're setting up a bunch of fights. That's all that's happening. Right. Is them.
But it's already issue 5. You know, I would expect the fights.
This is supposed to be a full-on mini-boss squad.
Right.
It would be incredibly anticlimactic if they beat all of these guys in one issue apiece.
Well, no, I don't want them to. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want them to beat them. But it's kind of I don't know. It feels kind of like Dragon Ball Z. Like they're just talking about fighting instead of fighting.
I mean,
a little bit.
I do agree that this is very much like a shonen battle anime type of feel, but I think that the pacing is better than you're giving it credit for.
Probably so. But I'm still reading it. I love Avengers. I think Jed McKay's doing a pretty good job here, and I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, moving forward. So, Avengers Annual #1, not what you think it is. It's
just
still all
another
about
like
this.
Contest of Chaos. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, man. The X-Men one last week, we didn't even mention it. I bet you everybody got a copy who's pulling X-Men.
I read it, but it's like, honestly, I got it by mistake. I thought it was the next issue of X-Men. I didn't see it was an annual until it was too late. But it was fine. I mean, there's just nothing really to say about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan.
I was hoping for more of what we're having in Avengers, where it's just like they fucking like throw down with each other, but it's always something like, "Oh, but you don't really want to kill me, do me, Carol Danvers? Do you, Carol Danvers?" It's like, no. So they all kind of have like real fizzles for ending. But like,
powers in the universe, but you can't kill a criminal.
That's awesome.
It's just,
yeah.
They also keep
getting this way to do annuals.
Like anything where like the Human Torch is beating Ghost Rider, that's inherently absurd, I
don't like that shit either. Anyway, moving on. Blade #3, fantastic freaking book, dude. Brian
I love that
Hill,
cover too.
Yeah, the amazing Elena Casagrande. That looks like an homage to like an old Wolverine cover where he had a bunch of arrows.
Yeah, there was that one where he like was in Japan or whatever. I remember that one. Kind of looks like that.
So I've been loving this. It's not your typical Blade book. It's not just vampires. There's a lot going on. There's intrigue. There's people getting stabbed in the back. There's a whole lot of fucking action, of course. But it's really more demonic and other paranormal shit and not really just leaning into vampires. And that's a good thing, I think. It's keeping it a little bit fresher than what you would otherwise expect from a Blade book. Jeff agrees in the chat. He's loving the Blade book too. So, yeah. And this new guy, this new villain is pretty cool. With that said, if I could say something bad, Elena Casagrande's work in Black Widow was way better than this.
So far, I would agree with that.
So far, yeah. I mean, it's not bad. It's just...
I still got faith, like...
Oh, yeah, me too.
But yeah.
Martin Cocola getting a Stormbreakers variant for that as well. That looks great. All right, moving on. Death of Venomverse 5 of 5. Thank goodness. With the fall, with autumn, comes the end of the Summer of Symbiotes. Thank goodness, because holy crap, man. I am just getting so tired of seeing symbiotes. 3 or 4 books.
People fucking love symbiotes, and I don't know why.
Ooh,
good for them,
Null,
but
though.
it's just
there's
I'm
Null,
not a fan.
Though. That's cool. There's Null.
Yeah, whatever.
I know. All right, Immortal Thor. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Awesome debut issue. Al Ewing, Martin Coccolo. Get that dope Alex Ross cover hanging out in the Statue of Liberty. Just beautiful. Oh my God, he's ripping his eye out. Oh my God, I hate eye horror. Oh, it looks great.
Yeah. Well, too bad because we're getting eye horror.
Gomer.
This is anything like the first issue, where the first issue was just basically like Noric poetry, and looks almost exactly the same. This is gonna be a really great book.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's the way Ewing does the whole damn series, dude. Has one thorough line going right through a plot and a story and just nails it. He did the same thing on Immortal Hulk.
Yeah, in Immortal Hulk, he was like leaning into like it being a horror book. And I feel like with this, he's going to lean into it being like high fantasy, like a grand, like bard's tale type of thing,
Yeah, like tragedy, heroics, Yeah, things like that, dude. Yeah. Beowulf and shit like that,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Classic Edda.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
This is we're getting a fucking saga here. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. All right, Invincible Iron Man #10.
Here comes the groom.
Here it is. Yeah, we're finally getting the other half of that X-Men issue that came out a few weeks ago.
Yeah. So come join the lucky couple. I love how their engagement was all kind of accidental.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid.
Just
but
fucking
in
rolling
the
with
funnest way. And I think they could both learn something out of this, especially both coming off of the tragedies of losing everything that they held dear. Emma Krakoa and Tony, his fortune and company and shit.
Also makes
He's
it
still
awkward.
rich as hell.
Also makes it awkward. Stark Tech is now being used in Sentinels.
Dude, exactly. Yeah. Very ironic. Yeah, good call out. I love this cover, I think, more than the connecting cover. It's just like the invitation or the wedding photo, I guess. You know, very cool. Very cool. Come on, Logan. You can't put on a fucking tie. Yeah, douchebag.
You can at least wear like a bolo tie or
Anyway,
something
Jean
like
Grey
that.
number 2 of 4. Yeah, something, dude. Something. Jean Grey number 2 of 4. Not really my cup of tea. These old legacy sort of books.
Well,
or, I don't know. Taylor's got a cool word for it, but
Time capsule
not
is
a
what.
fan of that.
This one is set in like
yeah.
it's not. I don't think it's quite one of those because like this is like the death ramblings of like her dying mind, you know. But
right.
It is an interesting kind of like.
He's gone.
It's
What?
not what I
back.
was really wanting it to be, so that is kind of
Yeah,
it's whatever. I mean, it's fine for what it is, but it wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah. Man, Jean Grey had a lot of time to think while she was dying. You know, we gave Firestar her own mission.
It's like Megamind.
He's gonna squeeze 4 issues into that last second of her life. Yeah,
It's like Megamind. She squeezes a whole hour into that opening sequence.
Yeah. Marvel Unleashed. I love the first issue of this. Throg is now coming on the scene. Yeah, this was great, dude. I mean, it's an all ages sort of read, even though it looks brutal as hell. But it's just a bunch of Avengers. It's like
I mean
Avengers.
that is some seriously like hardcore looking artwork for like a kid's book. You know?
Yeah, that's dark shit, man. But yeah, I'm all over that book. I had a great time.
Little
Throg
toaster
variant cover.
angle on that.
Yeah, Ron Lim get a variant cover there. Very cool. Micronauts number 1 facsimile. Really good timing with Transformers coming out next week. And a blank variant. Very cool. I'm hoping that the Micronauts eventually make it into the Energon universe along with G.I. Joe and Transformers. But I guess we should wait for the first issue to come out before we start talking about things they're going to do 5 years from now. So, Miracle Man Silver Age number 6. I have a hard time enjoying Miracle Man. Just not a fan of Miracle Man. Just not. I'm just not. Good.
I mean, it's whatever.
All
Moon
Knight
the
City of the Dead.
we get him, but they don't use him a whole lot.
I mean,
and no
what's
one
there to
likes him.
use? I mean, he's just like originally he was just a ripoff of Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And he got famous because Alan Moore wrote like a dark as shit story with him, but there's nothing else to the character. You know, he has a place in comics history for being like one of the early like dark age, like let's just go as dark as we can with this character, but there's nothing else to him. Yeah, you know, I don't know. 100%. I don't know like who wants to read more Miracle Man stories.
Yes, me neither. Moon Knight City of the Dead, David Pepos' thing here. Over halfway through now. Miss Marvel New Mutant number 2. Definitely looking forward to this one.
Only Marvel
I would say top tier X books right now, which is weird to say. One of the top tier X books right now is Miss Marvel. It's so weird. It's so weird. It is. I mean, she's weird.
I mean, she's a mutant now, so you know.
Yeah. I want to bring up this cover, the Alphona cover. Love these sorts of covers right here. I don't know. It reminds me of like old Saturday morning, cartoons, sort of.
Oh yeah, this is also like
the story time book.
You know,
this is also an artist who has done like countless bites at the apple with Miss Marvel. He was, I think, one of the original artists, and maybe the original artist actually. But well, I know Jamie McKelvey designed the character, but I think this was the first ongoing artist for her.
Yeah, love that cover. Great book, really cool character. Realm of X number 2 of 4. I would say one of the bottom tier X books right now. Just not a fan of them going to another dimension and doing the stuff that they're doing. I just don't care. I just don't care.
So for a lot of these like branching out X books, I get Iron Man because they have the like Stark Tech Sentinels now, and I get like like Miss Marvel, she's a mutant now. Why the fuck are they going to Asgard? And what the fuck does that have to do with
It's not even Asgard. It's like Moosgard or Mooseheim.
Thor's neighborhood. They're going to like Thor-centric places.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me either. I don't get it. I just don't understand. So, Spider-Man India hits issue number 4 of 5. Star Wars Dr. Aphra 36, more Dark Droids tie-ins. I've really been loving that Dark Droid tie-in. Or the Dark Droid event, and the tie-ins are pretty cool. All right, moving on. Mandalorian season 2, number 4. It's a direct adaptation of the series. If you've seen the series, you've read this comic. Storm
so
number 5.
Really know what
Yes.
you want. Why you want this?
Yeah, exactly. Storm number 5 of 5. Again, this is one of those time capsule books, which is in the past. I love this cover. This is an homage cover, definitely, right?
Oh, I thought that was supposed to be Spawn for a second. Yeah,
I think it is. I think it's a Spawn homage.
I think it's a Spawn cover. Yeah.
What character is that though?
This is some character that's like not brand new in here, but is like retro now. Blowback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like a retconned villain. Like they're new, but they're showing that they've always been around. Which again, I hate that shit. They did that in Wolverine with that one dude, and I hated it. I hated it. And then probably the biggest book of the week over here at Marvel. I don't know if you see that. It's $9.
Holy shit!
$9.
That is a ballsy ask,
right? But this is supposed to introduce
in there or something.
Well, it's double sized. It's supposed to fill in all of the gaps, answer all of the questions, tie up all of the threads leading into the newly announced Ultimate Universe that we know we're going to get with Ultimate Spider-Man, being teased. I'm stoked for this. I'm sorry. I have been really enjoying this. I think Hickman is going to do great things with the Ultimate Universe, and there hasn't been a lot of great things with the Ultimate Universe. And I think he's going to reinvent this universe, and it's going to be amazing. I'm really stoked. Really stoked. And then we get X-Men Days of Future Past, Doomsday number 3 or 4. This has not been terrible. It's kind of like a continuation of that, but it's also it's almost like a prequel to it, like how the politics and how everything sort of led into the events.
Days of Future Past was just like a 2-issue story, I think, and they never explained how everything got fucked. They just, or at least they never showed everything getting fucked. They just said
the only thing the only thing they originally touched on was Charles died, and that just led to the days.
Well, yeah, and Bolivar Trask was doing shit or whatever.
Right, but they didn't they didn't show, they would just say, "Oh, this mutant's dead." Or
we didn't see shit hit the fan. We just were told that Kitty Pryde needs to go back and stop it from hitting the fan.
Yeah, this works because it fills in all of those kind of gaps. It's kind of like a fan's book. If you're a fan of Days of Future Past, you're gonna adore this, and I am. So I'm really enjoying it. Awesome. House of Ideas coming with it. They got some good shit. So Betty Page number 4 over at Dynamite, Elvira in Monsterland, and Vampirella, Dracula Rage. So it's all horror, all cheesecake, all awesome. Well, Betty Page ain't horror.
Betty Page could be horror.
She could be. She could be all the things. That's the great thing about Betty Page.
She was the Rocketeer at one point.
Yeah, she was the Rocketeer. She had a World War II book where the reason that she was painted on the side of a plane is because she actually served on that squad. It was rad, dude. It was a really rad book. That was damn years ago. All right, now we move into everything else, which does include all of Image, all of Dark Horse. Man,
all of IDW.
Yeah, and IDW for that matter, man. And it's a huge week at IDW. Holy shit, it's a big week at IDW. So.
Silas's Big Day of Blood.
Yeah, dude. Oh, there's two of those. That's Shaq's. We'll get to it.
Oh.
Black Hammer.
Black Hammer at the end.
Yep. Jeff Lemire, Malachi Ward wrapping up the shared universe.
We get the Colonel Weir Corps.
Right. Where it's just a bunch of him.
Well, yeah, different versions of him. Yeah, alternate universe versions of him. Yeah. That's the first one from that. From the big stack.
Brynmore have you? I know
Burnmore.
Andy read it.
I've not been reading this.
It's pretty good. It's about this dude who goes back to his hometown and he finds. I remember Andy, I think, reviewed it on one of his Tuesday spoiler-free things.
Yeah,
and
so what it's about is this one guy who just goes to his old town and his wife is dead. I'm trying to remember everything, and then he goes into the basement of this
church that he's renovating.
He's renovating. Finds a door, and then opens the door, and then spooky stuff happens.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I had a good time with the first couple issues.
So kind of a grieving widower
Yeah, and he used to be.
Hellraiser.
Yeah.
He used to be an alcoholic. He's a recovering alcoholic too. So
Yeah, aren't we all? Conan the Barbarian, number 3.
Yeah, Conan the Barbarian, number 3. You know, Jim Zub doing fantasy, sword and sorcery fantasy, doing the sword and sorcery fantasy.
Yeah, dream come true for him, man.
yeah.
I'm so excited for him because I've been following his career since, I guess, since what's it called? Skull Kickers.
Yeah.
And man, I loved that book so much. And yeah, good for him, man. Good for him.
The next book I've got picked out here is Cerberus and Hellbot. It's just a one shot.
Okay.
Because I'm a fan of Cerberus.
What is it?
Hellbot.
In the seas? Oh, yeah. I went to
CIH.
Conan.
Yeah, it's CIH.
So here it is. Hellbot.
Right yeah.
Cool. Fun cover there too, man.
Yeah, very, very nice little homage cover to that.
Homage, like porridge.
Homage.
Clifford the Big Red Dog, the movie graphic novel. Dope.
That's
My
like
daughter loves that shit. My daughter loves that shit. It's only $9.
Get it for her.
Anyway, that's a cool book.
Yeah.
Dark Spaces Hollywood special. The first one was just okay. IDW book.
I'm off this. I think the
first
Firefighters
issue
one was
okay.
nice, but I'm not onto this.
Yeah. Dead Lucky number 9 of 12. The Massiverse continues despite being delisted.
Can't stop a good thing.
Can't stop a good thing. What else you got, bro? Firepower. They announced the ending of this. This is Kirkman's like suburban ninja sort of book. It's been good, dude. It's Kirkman and Samney. I mean, it's freaking great. It's so much fun.
The Firepower special is still like one of the best books because it's just the art telling the story. The very first taste of it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Great book.
The next book is Masquerade number 8.
All right. Well,
man,
that's a long way. That's all the way down to M's, right? We got a Godzilla book here, that's been okay. Called War for Humanity. Is anyone reading Gunbreed? Didn't someone mention Gunbreed? Okay, good. Because I didn't read it. I Can't Refuse. Interview. Kaiju Cooking number 1. That's some Japanese anime and manga stuff, huh?
Something like that.
Kaiju Cooking? Yeah, I don't know either. What book did you say?
Masquerade.
All right, here it is. Masquerade. Oh, this wraps this series.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this is about.
Just been like a killer who can alter their appearance, going after people who did them wrong.
Nice.
Pretty much that.
Nice. Very cool. Millennials, You Are Special number 1. People have been making a big deal out of this just because this solicit kind of pokes fun. An old generation of outcasts is born, hunted by those that fear and don't understand them. Entitled man, cyberbully, buzzgirl, know-it-all, and Mr. Hideous fight for peaceful coexistence with humankind. That just sounds, I don't know. Enter the Debt Collectors.
I didn't pick this one because it's a very small publisher, and Travis is good about getting books, but I'm not 100% sure he would have gotten this.
Yeah,
I don't think he would have looked at it and said, "This is something that David's going to pick up."
Right.
Monstrous number 48.
Yeah, Monstrous, perennially one of the best books on shelves. If Saga wasn't going, Monstrous would be the best ongoing at Image Comics, just hands down. It's been nominated and won so many damn awards.
Best, really great writing. The artwork,
amazing art, so
fantastic,
consistent, so
phenomenal.
Consistent. Yeah.
But
My Little Pony 17.
I think this thing. I think Monstrous is kind of getting to the point where it's going to be winding down here soon.
I think so too. I
haven't seen any announcements or anything, but I just the way the story's progressing right now, there's an end game in play.
Yeah, we're bound to get spin-offs from that. It's just too big to not, New Burn number 11, Chip Zdarsky's.
New Burn number 11. Yep, that's the next one on my list.
It's about an old cop who starts working for the mob as like a private investigator, and it's great. It's fun. And what was that? That guy Columbo. It's kind of like Columbo, but a smart Columbo. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Beautiful.
What else we got?
I mean, Columbo's pretty smart. He solves all the crimes,
Yeah.
He acts dumb though. He kind of acts like he doesn't know.
That's how he like kind of ropes them in.
Tricks them. Yeah, but Newburn doesn't do that. Newburn's just kind of like they all know he's a badass. It's pretty cool. Odd Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos #4 over at Dark Horse. James
I've got mixed feelings about this book. So
are you caught up?
I am. Yes, I am.
I love it. I think
I did pick up issue 3, but yeah,
it's got like this Goonies feel to it a little bit. Like it's high adventure that you're not supposed to really be taking all that seriously. You know what I mean? It's like kind of sort of its tongue in its cheek a little bit.
Yeah, this is a very interesting book.
Yeah, it's just
I'm all caught up. It's great.
I don't know if it's keeping my interest as much as it should.
I mean, I love this book. I think it's one of the best books out right now.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
I mean,
it's
it's not. Dude. I mean, it's probably not for everybody. So, but I love it. I mean,
it's definitely not for everyone. But yeah,
Christopher Chaos is such a great character. I just think he's such a good character.
It's so fun, man. I can relate like so hard to that guy. I mean, it's so weird. Anyway, Phantom Road, Volume 1, Jeff Lemire's with Gabriel Walta. Just a cool book. It's really hard to explain, but there's a trucker involved and like an alternate universe, and I don't know. It's great. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's like very Twilight Zone-ish.
Yeah, it's very Twilight Zone.
Next book I got here is the Rat Queen's finale.
Is this the Sisters Warrior?
Yep.
Warriors, man, I know you have been such a fan of the Rat Queen's book since, oh my gosh, pre-pandemic. I mean, years, maybe before we even started doing this show.
No, I think we were doing I think we were doing the show at the comic shop when we were doing Loving On.
Right, and I've tried to get into it. To me, it's just kind of like your basic, like Dungeons and Dragons adventure fantasy.
Well, it's the original team.
Yeah.
Because when Upchurch got in all that trouble and had to stop doing the artwork, the book really suffered. It got great substitute artists like Steven Sedgwick and a couple other guys, but the book really suffered because they had to pick up where.
Well, people were making a statement like defending Rock. You know what I mean? A little bit. Supporting him.
This is Weeby and Upchurch on this book. So
yeah, and this is the epic finale.
Yeah, the finale.
So. Cool, good choice. Rick and Morty #9 over at Oni. If you new season 7,
they dropped the trailer for that today, and you cannot tell the difference.
It was really cool. Yeah, you cannot tell the difference. I heard some people whining, and I was like, "Dude, you obviously didn't watch the trailer." He's like, "No, I didn't. I'm not watching it out of support for the other guy." And I'm like, the new guy sounds just like him. You know what I mean? What are you gonna get on Twitter and say, "Hey, I defend you by not entertaining myself"? What are you doing?
Yeah, you're just cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Yeah, spider face, man. Spider face. But yeah, if you like Rick and Morty, the Oni Press Rick and Morty books are exactly Rick and Morty. I mean, literally. They are Rick and Morty. They got 2 of them this week. Anyway, Sainted Love looks okay over at Vault. Malcolm Arena is the greatest inventor the world's never heard of, and his lover, John Wolfe, is the toughest bare-knuckle boxer in the city. Arena's crowning invention, the Chrono Corridor, is nearly complete.
Time travel.
Time travel away to a time where they can live and love freely. But when crazed Detective Phelps raids the lab, the couple dive into the freshly powered up portal and escape capture and time travel.
It is. What was that?
This sounds so cool, dude.
Sliders.
Well, there was Sliders. There was Chrononauts. They got lost. That was a Mark Millar thing. They kind of got lost, but they were both like really smart scientists. This seems like one of them's like an okay inventor, and the other one's just an ass-kicking motherfucker.
Well, that's kind of the combination you want, because if one of them goes in the future, maybe they can decipher stuff, and they go into the past, they got one that can fight.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. That is on Vault Comics.
I got Ribbon Queen.
Schlub.
Actually, I'm not reading
Ribbon
Schlub.
Queen.
I wasn't.
I liked it okay. Ribbon Queen. Where's Ribbon Queen?
AWA. I think the Ribbon Queen.
Oh, is it the? Oh, I'm not down there yet. So let's talk about Schlub. Andy was kind of on the fence about Schlub too. I think it's the first issue did suffer a little bit from first issue syndrome, had to explain some stuff. But basically, the world's greatest superhero and the worst dude in the world. He's a dentist who's terrible. Switch bodies.
Yeah, he's he's like everything everybody else's fault. I'd never done anything wrong in my life. All of a sudden, he switches bodies with basically that universe's Superman. So
yeah.
And what's the first thing you do?
Fun.
I'm gonna be a badass.
I'm gonna go kick some ass. I'm gonna go punch everybody who's ever done me wrong in the face.
This is way out of character for you.
Yeah. So that looks okay. All right, here we go. Sonic the Hedgehog, and then Star Trek, y'all. Star Trek number 12, the finale. Colin Kelly, Jackson Lanzing.
The Cisco
major event. Best event of the year, in my opinion.
Yep.
Man, Day of Blood has just been so cool, dude. It's just been so damn good. I don't know where they can even go after this, but man, I'm really excited to see. Yeah, dude. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I actually have my copy here, and I'm going to read it as soon as the show's over. But we also get Star Trek Day of Blood, Shax's best day. Shax, the tactical officer on the Cerritos from Lower Decks.
I actually really enjoy this character.
This is going to be
Decks. Eject the warp core.
It's going to be hard to pick.
This is by Ryan North, too. Yeah, Ryan North, who's currently killing it on the FF. Derek Charms doing the art. That was the artist who did the other Lower Decks book. So, yeah, man, 30 pages of standalone shit. Basically, what we do in this is get to see Shax's adventure. We saw him in the Star Trek book leave fighting in the hallway, and then he shows up in the Defiant book helping B'Elanna and Tom fix the Defiant. And then there's one panel showing him, all right, we're ready. And then it says to see how Shax got here, pick up Shax's best day. And I'm like, oh shit, I've got to pick that up. So I'm stoked about this, dude. It looks so good. Bajoran beast mode. I love that.
I really like that episode of Lower Decks where they go to Deep Space Nine and him and Kira Nerys are just like hamming it up.
Oh yeah, they know each other. And yeah,
I owe you because you saved my life. You busted me out of jail. It was great.
Yeah. Just these books, the current duo, and now this one shot of Star Trek books is just pulling just the best parts of all the Star Trek continuity, and then throwing them at the reader and saying, "We know you love it. We know you love it, and we do, and we do." Yeah,
we all love it.
I'm hoping we get some Discovery shit going on next. Some break into all that sort of stuff.
I want to see Mariner's time on Deep Space Nine during the Dominion War.
Oh, dude. That'd be so cool, man. I love that stuff so much. What else we got? Star Wars Hyperspace Stories number 9 of 12 over at Dark Horse for the all ages readers. And I don't know. Oh, Ribbon Queen. Here we go. Ribbon Queen, Garth Ennis, Jason Burrows. Man, this is the team that brought us like one of the worst books ever. And Ribbon Queen is scary, dude.
It is horror.
It's scary.
This character, this Ribbon Queen, is basically degloving people that she doesn't like, and a cop is just trying to piece together the puzzle.
Yeah,
it's pretty graphic.
It's really good. It's really good. Yeah, we do get a Deodato Jr. cover here that is just beautiful. We're getting another hardcover for The Last Ronin. This one is a director's cut. Why not? $50, but why not go back to that well?
Yeah, why not?
People love that shit. People love that character.
Last Ronin, Michelangelo's hamming it up, being the last turtle.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Anyway, just kidding. If you don't know, you know. TMNT Saturday Morning Adventures number 5. 3 covers for that one. We get Usagi Yojimbo Ice and Snow number 1. Always a winner, to read some Yojimbo.
This is back at Dark Horse now, right?
Yeah, it's back at Dark Horse. It's been moving around over the past 5 years or so, but yeah, it's stuck now completely at Dark Horse. And I think that's it. Oh, no. Void Rivals, which I have already read. I already know the big spoiler. Every issue of this, they've given us something from the Transformers universe. This time around, I'm not going to tell you. Read the book. We'll talk about it Sunday. It's okay.
Again.
It's okay. Well, no, Jetfire already showed up. No, it's a Decepticon. I'll tell you that much. It's a Decepticon. Very much worth a pickup. If you're going to be into the Transformers and G.I. Joes and the whole Energon universe, definitely must read shit. And then World Tree gets reprinted. All issues of World Tree so far,
except for the mistake issue.
Deservedly so. Yeah, the mistake issue is done. Not getting it. What's the furthest place from here? 14. That's it. That's it. That's all the books, y'all. So while it is a last week of the month, we're still getting a new Flash, a new Power Girl. We're getting a lot of mainstays. We're getting the final book of Hickman's Return to the Ultimate Universe. I mean, there's some good. We're getting Miss Marvel. We're getting
Immortal Thor.
Yeah, the Thor book. I mean, there's some really good shit. No debuts from Marvel this week, which is kind of weird. But they do have their biggest debut of the year coming out next week with Gods. So, yeah, I mean, Green Arrow's back. Bunch of great shit at
Guess who's back?
Image. I mean,
back again. Ollie's back.
Ollie's back. So yeah, it's a really, really solid week.
I was expecting it to be kind of a light week after what all they put up last week and it being the last week of the month and everything, you know?
Well, even considering that there's not much coming from Marvel in terms of like new stuff, shit, that damn Hickman book's $9.
Well, that's gonna set anyone who wants to get it. At least it's double sized, I guess. So it's like it's 2 450 books, I guess.
Sure.
But yeah, like very surprised by like the volume of books coming out this week, you know.
Yeah, and they are gearing up for the Comic-Con, so there may be fewer books coming out next week, but more important books coming out next week, you know, so we'll see. Can't wait for Transformers and stuff, but Void Rivals is definitely at the top of my list because I've already read it. It's great, and both Star Trek books. But yeah, there's a whole lot of standouts, so awesome. We're done. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Really appreciate it. If you want to see more of this sort of geek shit, check out the Bullies. They had a show last night. Haven't gotten a chance to listen to it today. We'll check it out tomorrow. Leroy and Eli talking about all kinds of pop culture stuff, including comics, but video games, movies, music sometimes too. Definitely check them out. If you want links to everything they've got going on and everything we got going on, go to outrightgeeker.com. All the videos, socials, audios, and the Facebook group run by our very own Andy. Doing a great job on that.
Hey,
come back. Yeah, that's you. Come back Sunday. We're going to be talking about all these books and news and stuff. Man, I am expecting there to not be a whole lot of news because we're right on the cusp of the really big show.
Yeah.
But hopefully we get enough. Yeah. We'll just do food news and reviews. We'll just review, like, we'll do top 10 instead of top 3. No, they're not going to do that. Yeah, what else? What else do I usually say? Again, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We really appreciate it. But most of all, thanks to these jokers for hanging out with this joker.
So the thing you forgot was to say kind words about us.
Oh, that's right. Well, I'm sorry.
It's hurtful. What is the last thing I do again? Oh, yeah. Thanks for the people who are here.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for hanging out, losers. Yeah. We're going to do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
I'm going to let you.
He kind of switched up on you, didn't hold the note that time.
Hey,